Welcome everybody to Passion Unchained. Joe here, helping you live an awesome life, helping you build a life that you love from the ground up. Let's get started, not waste any time whatsoever. I've talked about the explorer as an archetype that you should use to help you explore different things and figure out what you like. That's step one. I alluded in the explorer's code and in videos since about another archetype I'm going to use to help you for you to clearly understand and have a blueprint for what kind of life you need. It's important to have a blueprint, a clear image in your mind of an ideal that you can strive towards. That way, when you're throughout your day, you have this image guiding you of how to think, how to act, how to make decisions, etc., so that you can get closer to living a life you love on a day-to-day basis, continually enjoying your life, living your life, feeling like you're making progress towards your goals, feeling like you're enjoying the journey as well. I called that blueprint, I called it the Renaissance Man, but I'm going to amend that. I like the name Craftsman a lot more. Now, if you're a woman listening to this, craftswoman, that's cool. I just like to say Craftsman. It's easier, and it's a word that's been used for forever. So forgive me for being part of the patriarchy. Dun dun dun. We can talk about that another time. There's a lot of things we can do with that notion. I'm not sure how much I want to alienate my audience. So I will leave that for another time. But for right now, I am going to talk about the Craftsman. The Craftsman overview, I guess you could say. This is an archetype you can use to more reliably create a life you love. So many people out there nowadays purport the passion mentality. And there's a huge difference between the passion mentality and the craftsman mentality. They both strive towards the same thing, a life that you love, a life that brings you passion, to unchain your passion and live a life you love and build a life you love. But the issue with the passion mentality, it's a gimme, gimme, gimme approach. Life is not a benefactor to give you everything you like. Life is also not out to get you. I would say the most accurate view of life is chaos. Life is randomness. And you can make whatever you like out of that randomness. But it is up to you. This view helps me a lot because it puts me in control. And it's interesting because this is more of a philosophy on life. There's not really, when anyone states something about life, one thing that's important to understand is it's not a base truth. It's what we call a metaphorical truth. And what that means is it's more useful to live this way than to not live this way. If you were to live with this worldview about life, then your life would be far more productive and enjoyable and exciting and fulfilling than if you were to live thinking a different way about life. That's what it means by metaphorical truth, because you can really say whatever you want about life and find evidence to support that. So in the end, almost any assertion about life is equally valid, and that's the confusing thing about making any conclusions about life. It's all philosophy. It's all like, I decide to think this because this is the way that I like to live. It's almost like the belief itself is a choice, and a utilitarian choice is to decide on a belief that helps you live a more fulfilling and sustainably fulfilling life. So I find that a sustainably fulfilling belief to have about life is that life throws everything at you. It throws the good, it throws the bad, and you have the power to better yourself so that you can get more of the good and get less of the bad. That's within your power. That's within your decision-making process. You hone your mind, you hone your mindset, you hone your skills, you hone your relationship-making skills, your skills, your craft, and that we'll talk about that more, having a craft, a main craft, and it's not the only one and you don't have to stick with it forever, but having a main craft is really important in attracting wealth, attracting good experiences, etc. We'll talk about that more. You hone your skills and you hone your mindset, and you can attract more of the good and expel more of the bad from the randomness that life throws at you. And that's within your control. And you can get better and better at that every single day. And that's your goal, is to every single day get a little bit better. Little bit better. And if you're 1% better every day, you look back in a year forward, you look back, you're like, I would not want to be where I was because I'm so much further. So that's a little bit of a foundational groundwork for understanding this assertion I make about life. It's not a base truth. You can believe whatever you like about life, really, and they're all equally true because you'll find evidence for everything. But it's best, most useful, and most useful in building a sustainable life you love, to believe that life throws chaos at you, throws good and throws bad. It's random, and you have the power to attract more of the good and less of the bad. You can choose what you keep in your life, and you can get better and better at attracting that and keeping it by building skills, building social skills, building relationship skills, building skills, building fitness, building health, etc. And that will also take care of the bad by itself. The more good you attract, the better you get at these things, these pillars of life, if you will. The happier you are, and the more good you'll have, the less bad you'll have. So the Craftsman, I'm going to do a series of videos about this. I'm going to make a Craftsman's code just like the Explorer's code. If you're curious about the Explorer's code, check out the description below. I have a link to the playlist. Explorer's code is a set of rules that you can follow, maxims you can follow as the Explorer. The Explorer is an archetype you can have inside you to help you learn more about what you want in life. And you only know what you want to make your craft once you have explored. So this Craftsman mindset, this Craftsman's code, is only for people who know exactly what they want in life, or at least have a good idea, have a good direction, maybe a general direction. Maybe it's not like, I don't know what I want at all, or like, I know I want it to be creative. That's good enough start. I want it to be something in the creative field, or something even smaller in the visual creative field, which is still huge, but something in a visual creative field. Or I want to help people. Oh, how do you want to help people? I want to help people by coaching. I want to help people by coaching girls to feel comfortable about their eating habits and to get better, to have more healthy eating habits. Right? That's specific, but you don't have to be that specific at front. You could have a more broad category of what you'd like to do with your life, what your craft is. This is the idea, the Craftsman is the idea that you are, it's not what your craft can do for you, it's what you can do for your craft. Or it's not what your passion can do for you, it's what you can do for your passion. To butcher a quote from the late, great JFK. It's not what you can do for your it's not what your passion can do for you, it's what you can do for your passion. That's the Craftsman mindset. The passion mindset, and this is from a book that I really like, the passion mindset is, let me just sit back and find something that just infinitely makes me happy. And no matter what I do, it just makes me happy, right? And there's some times where your craft can feel like that. But one thing that I've found is that there's always, no matter how much I love something, there's always moments of time that it feels like work, no matter what it is. And so it's much more important to have a habit of doing it, regardless of how I feel, than to always just be like, okay, this will just make me happy no matter what. It also makes you a lot more fulfilled when you put work in and get stuff out, even through hard times. There are times where I don't want to make videos for you guys. No offense. I just don't feel like making videos for you guys. And in the past, when I was inconsistent with my videos, years ago when I was inconsistent, I was like, okay, what can these videos and this channel do for me? What can this channel do for me? Because I want to get fulfillment and happiness and excitement from making these videos. I don't really give a shit what I give. I just want to sit back and love it no matter what. But that is a limiting mindset because there are and always will be moments where I don't feel like making a video. Now this is video 112. 112. That means for 112 days in a row, some days I skipped and doubled up on the days later, to be quite honest, but 112 days in a row, I created content for you guys. A lot of those days, I did not feel like it at all. I didn't feel like I wanted to. I felt like shit. In fact, day 100, the worst day to do this, I was like, I feel like shit. I don't want to do a video. Here's a video. And I did in my own judgment, I did too many of those. But I still put content out there and I still strove to be better. I still strove to do it. And even if I didn't want to do it, I put a minimum amount of effort in. A great quote from MLK I've said in another video that I love is, if you can run, run. If you can walk, walk. If you can crawl, crawl. But by all means, keep moving forward. Forgive me if I butchered that quote, but it really helps me love the idea of moving forward even if it's a little bit. If you feel like shit one day, I like the idea of consistent effort. If you're feeling great one day, you can put X amount of effort and do a ton. The next day you feel like shit, X amount of effort might mean that you are doing just a little bit. You're not doing that much, but you're putting in the same amount of effort because you're having a shit day. That's fine. It's a really good analogy for it is, and this has to do with the craftsman. This is an overview of what it means to be a craftsman, and I'll dive into it in specific code rules. Like I did in the Explorer's Code, this is like the overview, and then there'll be more. Imagine you're running, right? If it's flat ground and you're putting consistent effort in, maybe at first you'll be like kind of slow because you're getting into it, and because your effort is going into getting started, and then you'll be like at a steady pace. And then over time, like this is like I'm going to move this section of the track down here. Then over time, you're going to get slower and slower and slower because the same amount of effort you're putting towards your body is becoming less efficient. And so you have to put the same amount of effort, but you're getting less fast, you're getting slower. And we're talking about the long term here because I don't want to teach y'all how to make a life you love for 1 year and then burn out. Like, that's no fun. I want to help you build a clear, solid foundation of a custom life that you love, that you can live forever until you die, or until the singularity gets met and you have the Neuralink in your brain and everybody's happy and all that jazz. So the only way you do that is by putting consistent effort in, an effort that you can maintain every single day. If you burst out all your effort in one day and then the next day you're tired, you don't put any effort in, I don't want that. That's not fun, because then you've lived one day of a good life and one day of a bad life. You want to live every single day like your best, and that means you have to pace it. It's a marathon, it's not a sprint. So what that means is if you're running and it's flat, now imagine you're running and it's a hill, right? Imagine it's the middle. Like, we're not talking about the energy that you have to take to get started to run where it's slow and the energy where you're tired. Imagine it's just the middle of the run, but there's a hill, right? Okay, you're going steady, 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 slow, 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 fast, 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 steady, 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 steady. With the same effort every single moment. That's how I run, that's how I live, and that's how I suggest y'all live your lives, because that is a consistent way to be going forward no matter what. A bad day is just like you're going up a hill. That's fine. It's fine if you go slower. It's okay. Keep going. Don't stop. Don't fall backwards. Keep going. It's a marathon. You don't want to stop. But you don't have to go fast. You don't have to work yourself to do exactly the same amount of productivity you did yesterday, because that's going to hurt you. You're going to be hurting yourself by trying to do the same you did yesterday. You're not going to be able to do the same you did yesterday because you're feeling like shit. And that's 100% fine. It's okay to feel really bad. And it's okay to not be as productive one day, as long as you put in the same amount of effort and the same amount of energy and presence, that same amount of effort towards that. And if you don't have as much energy to give that day, that's fine. Put the same amount of effort. It will be less results, but that's okay. So that's the idea of the Craftsman, is every single day, how much do you give to your passion? Rather, how much can you get from your passion? And you want to make sure you're getting enough from your passion. It's not like it's all about giving, I'm going to sacrifice my happiness and fulfillment. No, your happiness and fulfillment is really important. But if we're talking about sustainably, if you have a bank account and you're like, how much can I get? And you take out a little bit each day, eventually, no matter how much you have, it's going to get to zero. But if you have a bank account and it's zero, or even heck, negative, and you put in like $1 a day, I mean, $1 a day is not much, but like, it's going to grow. It's not the perfect analogy because $1 a day is not much. It's not going to grow very fast, but you get what I'm saying. It's going to grow if you put energy in, and you're going to enjoy, you're going to be able to take money out without there being many consequences because you have a good amount of money in there. And also, and it's even better than that, because as you put energy into your passion, there's immediate emotional feedback if you've chosen the right thing. That's another concept where the love that you have for something, a lot of the time that comes from flow state, and flow state comes from your ability meeting the challenge. It's challenging, but you're also very high level. Like, you are good at the thing, and it's also challenging, and so you're kind of riding the wave, riding the edge of an expanding ability, if that makes sense. It's hard to like explain in 2 seconds, but I'll do a whole video on that. And that will help you understand how passion is less about what can I get from this, and more about like, I'm really good at this and I want to build my skill, and this excites me. This thing, exploring this new skill excites me. How much can I give to it? How much energy, how much focus can I give to this passion? And it's this circuit that you're tapped into. It's this feedback loop of I'm giving, I'm getting, I'm giving, I'm getting at the same exact time. But your focus is on the giving, and that's what makes it amazing. So that is a good overview, a good general overview. I've dipped into a few different topics, a topic here, a topic there, of what the Craftsman mindset is. I'm going to have more videos coming in the next few days, next week or so, of the Craftsman's code to help you embody this in your life. If you were in a place where you have no idea what you like to do, you have no idea what your craft is, one thing at least for right now, or at least your main thing for right now you want to focus on, it can change. You can focus on more than one, but you need to have a main thing at one point. At any point you have to have a main thing. If you have no idea what that is, go watch the Explorer's Code playlist. I'm going to have that here, and that will help you figure out, explore, so you can find the things you like, so you can decide on a main craft to do for a period of time. But if you have a good idea of what you're going to do, at least some semblance of clarity, then go ahead, subscribe to this channel, like this video, share it with your friends, and I'm going to put more videos out there. Also, by the way, I do about 50 hours of Uber a week to pay my bills, pay off my debts, etc. I would love to not have to do any of that and put all my time and energy and focus into Passion Unchained. So, if you want to help me with that, and you have anything you want to buy on Amazon, I have a bunch of Amazon links in the description. If you use any of my links to buy anything, if you click on my link and buy fucking mayonnaise, then I will get a cut of it. And it really helps me out, because then I can focus more on this channel, etc. I get a small cut from it. You pay the same exact amount you would have paid no matter what link you clicked on. So it's a win-win situation, and then of course Amazon wins. So it's a win-win-win situation. Hope you like this channel. Hope you like this video. Hope it helped you build a life you love on a custom basis in a sustainable way. And I love you guys. Bye.